Happy New Year. 안녕하세요. Dobar dan. And zdravo. Hi, it's Tom from Green Shorts. I've got 4 questions for you. I hope you all have had a happy holidays and a happy new year. I certainly hope that 2021 holds some better things for all of us, and I'm optimistic. So I wanted to start off the year with 4 questions for you. One of the things that a YouTuber is always wondering is, why are people watching my videos? And actually I do get a lot of great feedback and encouragement and ideas and suggestions in the comments. So from some of you, I do hear and do know why you watch my videos. But I wanted to ask that question specifically to all of you. So there are 3 reasons that I can think of, one of which is entertainment. I try and keep my videos interesting, funny, and quirky, a reflection of who I am. But there's also information. I think a lot of you are coming here asking questions, looking for solutions to problems that you're trying to solve, perhaps in some of your own DIY projects. And the third thing is instruction. I think a lot of you are maybe looking for how to DIY something, that you are trying to build a rocket stove or a keyhole garden, a composter, some of the things I DIY here on my channel. And there's one constant from my channel, that being the train. If you put yourself in the category of instruction, in other words, you're looking for how to do something and your goal is to do it, my question is, what is stopping you? Like, if you're wanting to DIY but you're not taking that step yet, what is it that's stopping you? I know one of the things that I struggle with is that the vision part, the idea part of a project is very easy for me. I think part of the way that my brain works makes that process of coming up with ideas very easy. But where I get into trouble is in the area of execution. I have too many ideas and things that I start, it's the finishing, it's those minute details, it's the tedium that comes toward the end of the project that is where I get into trouble, which is why I've got all these things started back here. This building behind me is one example. So that's where I struggle, the diffusion of my energy, in that I can't do all of it, and so I end up doing none of it. So one of the challenges I have for myself in the new year is to finish stuff, to not just finish it, but finish well. So what is it for you? What is it that's stopping you? A really amazing book I listened to this year was Atomic Habits. James Clear, the author, talks about not necessarily thinking about goals, things you want to accomplish, but focusing on your processes, how you do things. And so that's something I want to think about this year. So my third question is this: how can I help you? If you are in that doer category and you're running into trouble or you have questions, let me know how I can help you. Obviously I've got a realm in which I'm working, green, and I call it green. I got gardening, composting. Rocket stoves are green because I'm using found fuel that drops right here in my backyard. I'm building this building here. I'm creating things that cook and heat, learning how to grow my own food. And I see all of that kind of coming together into a system. And right now I am still focused on the elements of that system, the components. But I think as I go forward, I'm going to start to think about how they're connected. And perhaps even someday I'll sell this house and I see my next house perhaps being one that I'm doing a much more significant amount of work on. Maybe it's off-grid. Maybe it uses rocket mass heat as a a heat source. That's still in the future, but that's kind of how I'm thinking about what I'm doing and how it's building towards something. So, but I also really want to be a resource for you. I love the fact that YouTube allows people that watch your videos to interact with you. So I love the comments, and there are a lot of you who have been very active in the comments, and I really appreciate the interaction, the connection that happens there. So thank you for coming alongside me in this process, for giving me your ideas and suggestions, and I appreciate the positivity and encouragement. So my last question is, what do you want to see in 2021? I've got some ideas, of course, but I would like to hear from you what you'd like to see more of, or maybe ideas you'd like to see me develop further. Some of the projects I've done are definitely in process, like they're not finalized. If you look at the pizza oven video, it took me probably 6 videos to get it to where it is today. But other ideas that perhaps are iterations of stuff I've started, stuff you want to see me finish. Like I plan on finishing this shed here in 2021 for sure. So let me know in the comments below the answers to any of those questions and what you'd like to see from me in 2021. I will tell you some of the ideas that I have. Wrote them down. So I do want to move from rocket stoves into rocket mass heaters. I played around with that a little bit, but I want to take that further in 2021. I'm also going to build a tiny house. So, well, specifically a tiny studio. A friend of mine is a musician here in my town. He's got a very small house, and right now his music practice space and studio is in his bedroom. So he and I are gonna build a tiny studio using that pile of lumber there. Also, Trevor and I are gonna build a teardrop camper. So my son and I are getting into mountain biking together. He's 15. That's something he really enjoys doing. He actually spent some of his own money alongside some birthday money to buy himself a nice mountain bike. So that's something I want to do with him. And he and I are gonna build that camper together that will be that home on the move when we go on mountain biking trips. I'd also like to solve the aircrete question. I played around with that a little bit last year with some inconclusive results, and so I'd like to explore that further in 2021. In particular, one thing I want to make out of aircrete is a furnace for melting aluminum. I like to do some aluminum casting, perhaps to make parts for the teardrop camper. Watch for the aircrete furnace coming in 2021. So the other thing I'd like to move into, really, and I say move into because I haven't really done a lot of this on this channel, is maker projects. So I've got a lot of ideas of stuff I want to make. I started slabbing up the first of the big pecan log with my dad, and when I finish that up and use that wood to make some cool projects, probably using the CNC. I pulled together all of my birthday money and bought that machine. It was a treat for me, but I haven't really used it yet. And the potential of a CNC is just, it's unlimited. So part of my plan in 2021 is to utilize that machine more effectively and making things from all of this stuff that I've stored here in the green stash. So there's a little more about what you can expect here on the channel in 2021. I do want to say thank you so much, really heartfelt thanks for joining me in this adventure. And those of you who are there consistently, thank you so much. You know who you are. So I appreciate the feedback you give me and just the encouragement when I hear your thoughts and appreciation for what I'm doing. Making a video every week is not easy, especially when it's alongside what I'm already doing to support my family. So, but I do consider YouTube part of my work. I do see it as part of my vocation, and actually I love it. I love making videos. I love exploring these new skills, welding, casting, aircrete, all these things that I don't know how to do yet that I'm practicing and learning here with you. A special thank you to those of you who have supported me on Patreon this year. I really appreciate that and have enjoyed the interaction that we've had as well. on that channel and in the Discord channel. Thank you. 2020 was certainly a difficult and interesting year for many different reasons. So my encouragement to you is that we still have a lot of control over our own happiness, our own forward motion. And that's where I'm choosing to focus my energy, is on what I can do to improve my life. And those who are within my sphere of influence. So people that I know, people that I touch, people that I can talk to. And I put a YouTube viewer in that category as well, because we have the opportunity to interact. I can help you, you can help me. So thank you for joining me in 2020, and I look forward to seeing you around in 2021. Let's make it a great year.